Okay, so from Friday's assignment, the extra practice on 7.5, number 1, there's our work for it. It's like x equals negative 54, cross multiply. Questions on 1? Going down the first column, so number 3, cross multiply. Okay, number 7. Any questions on 3 first? What's that? I can't hear you. It's not extraneous, no. Because you'd have to, if I put 0 in, here I get negative 3 or negative 6 on the denominator. Okay, number 5. Multiply by 7x, the common denominator. Okay, any questions on number 5? Number 7, multiply by x over x plus 4. You got to make sure you factor that back piece. Any questions on number 7?
I'm kind of confused by the whole thing.
Okay. So you're multiply. Did you find the common denominator? Okay. So when you multiply the common denominator by this chunk, the 12x is left because the x plus 4 is canceled. When you multiply the common denominator by the 7 over x, the x is canceled, and I'm left with 7 over x, or 7 times x plus 4. And we multiply by this, everything cancels, so we just left with 22.
You know what I did do? I can cancel the bottom.
Other questions?
It's all the same too, I don't know why.
Okay, next page, number 9. Number 9, there we go. Matt? No solution. No solution. Okay, any other questions there? Okay, 5 doesn't work because it makes that 0 or that 0. Number 11. Okay, questions on 11? We got to make sure we factor back here.
Is that the whole answer?
Yep.
Wow, I got like x equals plus or minus 4 to
Kindle.
4x plus 21. Seems weird. It's just another problem.
Because that's the common denominator. So if you multiply by the common denominator, like here, if I multiply this fraction by that common denominator, the x minus 5's cancel. So I have x times x plus 2. When I multiply this fraction by the common denominator, the x plus 2's cancel. I'm left with 2 times x minus 5. When I multiply this fraction by the common denominator, the whole thing cancels, so I'm just left with the 11. Were you gone on Friday?
Yeah, I was on a
Okay. Make sure you watch the video lesson. Okay. Okay. Go back and watch Fridays. That'll help you out quite a bit on that. That might be what you do during class today. Okay? Other questions there?
As soon as I write mine.
All right. Number 13. I want everyone to give a look at 13. I want you to try that one with your groupies there. First, is it an inverse? Yeah? Okay, I'm sorry. Is the inverse a function? Is this a function? What's the inverse? What's the definition of an inverse? Raise your hand, please. Matt. Good. So if we call that y and we switch those positions, call that x equals 8 over y minus 3. And then find the inverse there. How do we go about it? Someone else. Go ahead. Jake. Okay, so we go x times y minus 3 equals 8. And now what? Dallas? Divide by x, we get y minus 3 equals 8 over x. And then add the 3 over. Y equals 8 over x, all plus 3. Is that is that inverse a function?
I did it right.
Yes, that's a rational function. Yes, it is. You guys remember, an inverse reflects over which line?
X equals y.
X equals y or y equals x. If you think of this picture as just being this type of graph, and then you think of its inverse and its reflection over the line y equals x, you're still going to have a function if you reflect it over that line. Okay. Anyway, you could also put it in that format and say, for sure, yeah, that is a function. Okay. Number 15, last one we're going to at least do from this section together. And I have a couple other things I want to cover with you real quick. Spend good work time on that one right there. Okay, let me give you a bit of a hint for those of you struggling. Work done is equal to, let's make a verbal model, work rate times time. Okay, so think of it that way. That may help you out a bit there. Okay, so here we go. If this is true, what would the work done be right here? 3/5 of a yard per hour. Okay? Actually, the hours would cancel. Okay, so just 3/5 of a yard. Okay, that's how much work they've done. Or you have done. I guess we don't want to give them credit for your work. Doesn't mean your friend is lazy.
Just means they're slow.
Okay? Your friend. We don't know your friend in terms of how much. We're saying let T be the number of hours that you and your friend take to complete the work. If we do this, this would be your friend does 1 yard in T hours. Okay? They tell you that here. And so that would give you a rate of 3 over T yards. Or yard. Okay? So if I'm trying to figure out how long it would take your friend to complete the yard work alone, and then how long it would take for you guys together, what do we got? Actually, I guess we know together, but in terms of your friend, what do we do? Go for it, Matt. Okay, your work done plus your friend's work done equals 1/3. 1 yard per 3 hours. Everyone agree?
That would be work rate, wouldn't it?
Okay, why don't you guys talk about it with your groupies just real quick. Come up with how we have all the info we need now.
Yeah, I think we did it. But we didn't.
Okay, wrap up discussion. Hey guys, I will tell you the first part of what Matt said here, that's totally accurate. It's just it's not 3 or 1/3, excuse me. Rory? So if we go with our work done and your friend's work done, okay, when you guys work together, how many yards do you complete?
1.
Yeah, you're completing 1 yard. Okay, so your work done, you've worked your work right here, you've done 3/5 of a yard. Your friend has done 3/t yards. Okay, that's using his rate and his time. Okay, if we go through that and figure out what would make that 1, we could figure out what t is, how long it would take your friend to complete a yard. Okay? Yeah.
So we solved it by setting up like the remainder of the work that's left, 2/5 equals 3/t, and then cross multiplying.
Okay, so you went 2/5 equals
3. We had 3x.
T, I guess.
3t over.
Just
No,
3.
we had 3/t, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then you
3
had
over
15.
t.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
Equals,
Okay. Hey, so you're using that because you've already done 3. Yeah, sure. So that, hey guys, did anyone else do that where they said 2/5 equals 3/t? Okay, because you've done 3/5 of a yard, that means there's a remaining 2/5 of a yard. Okay, and we can get that from subtracting 3/5 on both sides, right? Like if that was our first step, really that's what you end up with here. You get 3t equals 2/5. Okay. The same idea, but from there, we cross multiply, you get 15 equals 2t, or t is 7.5 hours.
Oh my gosh, I got that too.
Oh his gosh. Okay. All right. Hey,